Good morning, MAB elementary students. This is Mr. T from Mental Math, and this is for the Lizards group. So you know what you need to have to be able to do mental math and how we're going to do it. So let's get right to work with some brain building mental math problems. Here we go. The computer has a planet game. Each time you reach Pluto, you get 145 points. After reaching Jupiter, you get 75 points. How many more points is Pluto worth than Jupiter? And we'll leave beside the fact that Pluto is no longer considered a planet. When these story problems were written, it still was. So I'll read it again. If you reach Pluto in the game, you get 145 points. If you reach Jupiter, you get 75 points. So how many more points do you get if you make it to Pluto? So pause the video, solve the problem. Pluto is 145 points. Jupiter is 75 points. What do I have to do to find the difference between those two numbers? Well, I have to subtract. The big number is the minuend. The small number is the subtrahend. 5 units, take away 5 units, 0 units. Can I take 7 tens away from 4 tens? No, I cannot. But I can get tens over here from this 100. That's going to leave me with 0 hundreds. But now I've got 14 tens. 14 tens take away 7 tens is 7 tens. So it's 70 points more for Pluto than it is for Jupiter. If you got it right, give yourself a check. If you got it wrong, look at Mr. T's work carefully and see where you made a mistake and fix it. I'm going to adjust my camera a little bit. All right. The beads for the craft project came in bags of 550. In one bag, there were 105 broken beads. How many beads were not broken and could be used? Okay, so we have freeze the video. And Mosby says he wants to learn mental math with you guys this morning. Tail first. All right, so we have 550 beads in the bag, but then when we evaluate them, we find that there's 105 of them broken. So we need to know the difference between the 550 beads that we got and the broken ones, don't we? That's a subtraction problem. 5 units from 0 units, can't do that, but I can get some units right here. That'll leave me with 4 tens. Mosby's insistent on learning mental math today, as you can see. So I took that 110 and I exchanged it for 10 units. Now I've got 10 units over here. Take away 5 and I have 5 units as my difference, my answer. 4 tens take away 0 tens, I still have 4 tens. And 500s take away 100, I've got 400s. So we have 445 good beads that we can use. Give yourself a check if you got it right. If you got it wrong, look at Mr. T's solution and figure out what happened. Karen has a stamp collection. She went through 1,287 old envelopes and found 302 great new stamps for her collection. How many envelopes did she not have stamps she could use? Try that again. Karen has a stamp collection. She went through 1,287 old envelopes and found 302 great new stamps for her collection. So how many envelopes did not have stamps that she could use? Freeze your video, solve the problem. Mr. T, 1,287 envelopes. And she found 302 stamps that she could use. So we need to find the number of envelopes that didn't have stamps in them that she could use. So we need to find the difference between the big number, which is a minuend, and the small number, which is the subtrahend. So we have another subtraction problem. 7 units take away 2, whoops, forgot my, gotta have the equals line. 7 units take away 2 units is 5 units. 8 tens take away 0 tens is 8 tens. 2 hundreds take away 3 hundreds. Can I do that? No, I cannot. But I can find some hundreds by taking this unit in thousands. That leaves me 0 units in thousands. Exchange it for 10 hundredths. Now I have 12 hundredths. 12 hundredths take away 3 hundredths is 9 hundredths. So, and there's 0 there. Do I need to put that 0 there? No, it's the beginning of the number. We don't need a place value there. So, the answer is 1,287 minus or take away the subtrahend of 302, and I get a difference, which is the answer in subtraction, of 985 envelopes. And remember, you always have to have a word in your story problems that tells you what it is that you were looking for in this math. The local grocery store bought 3,289 oranges from a grove nearby. They liked the fruit so much that they bought 4,380 grapefruit. How much citrus did the grocery store buy? Think about that. They bought 3,289 oranges and they bought 4,380 grapefruits. So how many citrus did they buy? Freeze your video, and here's the work. 3,289 oranges, 4,380 grapefruit. They're both citruses. So I have to add them together to find out how much citrus they bought in all, don't I? So that's an addition problem. And here's my equals line. And notice again, very careful, put units over units, tens over tens place, hundreds over hundreds place, units and thousands over units and thousands place. So we make sure our answers comes out and we record them in the proper place value. 9 plus 0 is 9. 8 plus 8, math facts, need to know them, use your finger chart if you don't. 8 plus 8 is 16, that's 6 in the 10 place, and 10 tens has to be, gotta be, must be, exchanged for 100. 300s and 200s is 500s, but I had one that I exchanged, and you see my notation up there, so now I've got 600s here. And 3 units in 1,000, because I went into the 1,000 family, I can put those post box there if I want. 3,000 and 4,000 is 7,000. So my answer is 7,669 is how much citrus the grocery store bought in all. Citrus. We'll do one more. The third year students, that's you guys, always go on a special field trip collecting shells for art projects. That'd be great if we could go to the beach, wouldn't it? So they're collecting shells, and they found 1,243 univalve shells and 1,492 bivalve shells. Yeah, okay. How many shells did they collect? Univalve are shells with just one piece of the shell, and bivalve, bi means two. It's a prefix meaning two, like bicycle, 2 wheels. Bivalve means it has 2 halves, like a clam shell or an oyster shell. So they found 1,243 univalve shells and 1,492 bivalves. Freeze your video and let's solve the problem. 1,243 univalves and 1,492 bivalves. And again, I have two numbers, two add-ins. And we need to add those add-ins together to get the sum, which is our answer in an addition problem. 3 units and 2 units, 5 units. 4 tens and 9 tens, 13 tens. That means 3 in the 10 place. And those 10 tens has to be exchanged for 100. Don't forget your notation, otherwise you'll lose it. 200s plus 400s, 600s plus 100, 700s. 1 unit in 1,000 plus 1 unit in 1,000, or 2 units in thousands. And I'll put a mailbox there because I'm reading my sum. The answer is 2,735 shells. Well, I hope you've enjoyed Mental Math today, lizards, and we'll see you again next Monday. Let's have a really good week working with Mr. Smith and Mrs. Kiefer and Mr. T and build our brains really strong. Do not let this time go to waste. Mr. T, out.